Welcome, my fellow cat herders. Welcome, my fellow IT specialists. Welcome, my fellow pizza math gurus. Welcome, youth pastors. In this video, I'm going to share with you 9 of my favorite games that I have played and created and have now published on the downloadyouthministry.com website. You can go buy any of them. They will be linked down below, and I would love a review on any of them. But why go buy them on the website when I'm just going to give you a link to download all 9 of them for completely free? That's right, you heard it completely correctly. So in this episode, not only am I going to share with you my 9 favorite free games, but it is your ultimate in a pinch. Oh crap, I forgot about the game moment. Don't worry, my friend, I got you. Go grab that link. It will take you to a Dropbox and you can get all 9 of them for free. But you know what would be awesome? If as payment for the 9, you just simply hit the subscribe button. It costs you nothing, but truly it does benefit me and my channel greatly. Does that sound like a deal? Okay, awesome. Let's go. I'm going to be counting them down top 10 style from game idea number 9. And so this first one that I'm going to show you, if you're watching here on screen, you'll see it is called How Well Do You Know Your Toilet? Now, this game, the reason it's even on this list is because it was the very first game that I ever submitted. And if you're looking at it, you can probably tell. I think this game was probably submitted somewhere in the realm of like 8 years ago. And at that time, I thought that the submission guidelines required all the fonts to be used as Calibri. I don't think I've ever even told anybody this. But in hindsight, the font requirement for Calibri was teaching or document-based resources. And so this game has the world's worst font for it, but the content is still great. And I, even 8 years ago, Nick, wouldn't have used these fonts. But here's how this game came into its inception. I was at a Jimmy John's eating lunch, and I was in the bathroom washing my hands before I was heading back to work, and I found this little like placard, this little infographic about toilets, and I took a picture of it and I said, these are so funny. I'm gonna go home and I'm gonna make a game. And so here we go. You can grab this game for free, but it's things like this. Most toilets are A, public; B, flush in the key of E flat; C, use 1/3 of your house's water; or D, are green. What do you think it is? Comment your answer below. Of course, the answer is B, flush in the key of E flat. There's 10 other questions like this, and you know what? I've even put these into like a video editing software and put a countdown timer on it, and I've used this for bathroom break slide, like a video or something. So that's something fun to do. The 8th game that I love, and this game is actually incredibly hybrid, and I think you guys might like some of this one. This one called Mystery Search, all right? And here's how Mystery Search works. It is, this one in particular is Mystery Search Easter Egg Hunt Edition. So what you do is you put a graphic on a screen. Right here is the instruction slide if you're watching. This egg right here, you have to find this egg on every slide. So here's the first, the first slide. Where's the egg? Do you find it? Can you see it? Boom, there it is. And it's like this on every single slide. It gets harder. It gets more difficult. There's video. So that's like the still version. There's video versions. And so if you want to try and find out where this is with this guy here, he's, looking at it. It's got music laid into it, as you could hear just a second ago. But then you have like a contestant on stage. You're like, where is it? Where is it? Where is it? And then boom, little egg transition comes in, and then this little magnifying glass moves around until it zooms in on where the egg is, and boom, found it. Okay. Now, that is also an available option in phone-based graphics or phone-based videos. So what you could do is you could post this on your Instagram story or on your TikTok and say, find the egg, and then post the second one here or link it together in a video, and then the magnifying glass will do its thing and it'll move to the spot where the egg is located, and then someone will say, I found it. And if you want to make it interactive, you can put a little, poll option, say, did you find it? Yes or no, be honest sort of thing. So this is one of my favorite games. Like I said, for free, there's an Instagram or at least a social version and an in the room version and a countdown version. If you just want to play this with a 5-minute countdown clock overlaid on top of it and let people, as the countdown is on, you'll see right here up at the top corner, as the countdown is on, let people go ahead and play that game as it's going. Game number 7, which is again for completely free, is my game called the Visual Variance Voyage. And this is the fall edition. And so this one, similarly to the last one, also has a social media option. And this one, the way that you play is very simply before this 10-minute timer runs out, you need to identify the difference between the two photos. We've all done this in dentist's office. We've all done this in doctor's office. But now it is available to us in youth ministry. So here's an example. Here's question number 1. 10 seconds is on the screen. Can you tell and can you spot the difference between these two photos? I don't know. It's difficult. There's also a countdown option for this one as well, which is a really fun thing to have it looping. So at the end of question 10, can you figure it out? I don't know. Here's the answer slide. Boom, right there. Those leaves are different. I'm telling you, it's not super easy. And just like the last one, there's also a social version as well. And so here's what the social version looks like. You got these two cats. Fall edition. Can you tell the difference between these two photos? These are not broken up into different slides. These are actually the same slides. And so when the 10-minute countdown is over, all of a sudden, boom, it's away. And then it will circle and reveal the difference. And the difference was in the photo. And then the text there on screen changes to, did you get it in time? So that is option number 7. This is option number 6. It's called Friendsgiving. And truth be told, I actually have some other iterations of this now. I've changed the branding behind it a little bit. It's called Pick'em. So you can go to the Download Youth Ministry store and search for a couple of games called Pick'em. But this one in particular, this one is meant to be Thanksgiving themed. So as you see, it's Friendsgiving. And so the instructions are very simple. You have to try and guess what the other person is going to do. So the question here at hand is the friend, we just call all of our contestants in this game friends, is the friend going to stay at their house or going to travel elsewhere? And I may be thinking, like, who's the friend? That's where you can have like an opportunity to kind of implement your creativity. It could be your senior pastor, and you go into his office and you're like, hey, answer these 10 Thanksgiving-based questions ahead of time. Are you staying home this year or are you traveling? Are you, this next question here is, are you going to do a turkey trot or are you just going to get fat and put on your stretchy pants? Question number 3 is, are you going to watch the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade or are you going to watch NFL football? Spoiler alert, you can actually do both, but we're just going to put them against each other. And so you can kind of go through that. If you don't want to use your senior pastor, you can bring contestants up on stage. If you don't want to bring contestants up on stage, you can do volunteer leaders or something like that. But I also have like a worksheet here. And so they can keep track of their answers. You can print this out and give it to everybody and they can keep track of their answers. Did they get it? Did they not? Like I said, there's this version, and this is like a Thanksgiving version. You can play like a Friendsgiving or something like that. Or there's a Pick'em version. You can go grab one of those over on Download Youth Ministry's website. The game option number 5 is called Back to School Bingo. And I love this game because every single player gets a bingo card that looks just like this. And so instead of needing a variety of bingo cards with all different numbers and all different letters, you can get the same static bingo card. And the goal is to be the first one to fill 3 in your category, or the first person to get a blackout. And so, the categories you see here are church and youth group, school and extracurricular, or summer. And then there's just rotating slides. So I have 10 church slides. And so for an example, it's going to rotate through and it's random, even though it's, going to be question number 1 in the church category. Did you go to our church's youth camp this past summer? So remember, this is a back to school timeline event. So it's kind of looking back over the summer that was as it pertains to church and youth group. So did you go to youth camp last summer? And if they did, then they put a check mark or whatever on the little bingo spot in the church kind of category. Did you go on a summer mission trip this past summer? so on and so forth. And so you put these in sort of a random order, and like these are obviously all in the church category. But if you look here at the where the folders are set up, here's the school category, and so this one's going to land on one of the school options here. And so it's did you already buy your school supplies for the upcoming school year? Yes or no? And so it's a way to kind of do a recap, kind of back to school, kind of bingo style vibe sort of thing. And so there's these different rotating slides, and if you don't want to use that, you can put it into something like a sidekick and using like people picker and just kind of copy and paste these different clues into that. Moving on to number 4. This may be my favorite one on this entire list. I know I have it at 4, but I wrote this list a while ago. It's called GIF Flashback, and it does have an Instagram version. And what it is you simply have to watch a classic GIF. So here's the Homer Simpson backs into the back of a bush, and then the multiple choice question pops up on the screen. How many strands of hair are on Homer's head? Did you get it? Let me know down in the comments if you did. The correct answer, of course, is here as it stops. 1, 2, boom. You said 2, you got it right. And so in the same way you can play that on Instagram stories, play the GIF here. You let them watch it a little bit of time, and then you post like the little poll question sticker right here, okay? Instead of it having the multiple choice option listed on screen, you post it either right here, or you can post it here on the second one right in this moment where they can answer it. Then after they answer it, they wait for just a second, and in pops the receipts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let it keep going. 7, 8, even more. 9, 10 different people in that GIF. Did you get it right when you said if there were 10 people in GIF Flashback? That's all it is. It just roasts people and how bad their memory is on something that they just did. Also, we have a very classic game called Bring Me. And Bring Me, I have volume 1, volume 2, and volume 3. And so what did I say? I said you were going to get 9 games, but actually you're getting 9, 10, 11 games. And in this game, you very simply have to bring and be the first person to bring this item to the person on stage. So bring me a piece of gum. Bonus points if it's straight out of your mouth. Bring me some Tic Tacs. Bonus points if it's this exact flavor of Tic Tacs. Bring me some keys, glasses, a church bulletin, hand sanitizer, a hat. Bonus points if the hat looks just like this. A pen, a ping pong ball, a cell phone, and bonus points for the oldest model cell phone that you get. 3 of those, again, these are one of my all-time favorite resources. So quick, so simple. Just go ahead and use them. Another one of my favorites, maybe my top-selling category of games, is emoji phraseology. And this one is volume 1, but I have all different holidays that you can possibly think or imagine. I have a countdown version in this as well. I have Instagram version of this as well. But very simply, you look at the emoji phrase, and you try and guess what it is. What's this? Looking at here on screen, what do you think it is? X, rocket, scientist. Of course, it's not rocket science. Or this right here, a clock and an airplane and a person celebrating. Is it time flies and you're having fun? Of course it is. You know that. You can do that on Instagram, you can do that on TikTok, or you can walk around and even do man on the street style videos where you ask people if they know them and try and roast them for how bad they do. But the number 1 favorite game, drum roll please, is actually kind of detailed and explained in my 100th episode. I'll have that linked right here if you want to go back and watch that. From when me and the team I was at the church I was at during COVID, did a full live in-person YouTube show. But then we moved back to the campus and we were doing this sort of hybrid model, hence the name Hybrid Ministry Show. And we were creating a Duck Duck Goose style game that they could watch a video on the screen, but also play an interactive version of Duck Duck Goose while it was happening on the screen. And so I took that same kind of idea and that same kind of concept. And so how it works is you play a game of rubber duck trivia, okay? And then here's just like the questions in the rubber duck trivia. And you can play just rubber duck trivia if that's what you want to do. But what really makes this fun is this is a like full just version video. You just play it. You'll see here it's 5 minutes and 32 seconds long. What happens is someone starts ducking. And whenever they hear a quack on screen, there it is. When they hear the quack, boom, that's when you hit, duck, duck, duck. That's when you hit goose, okay? And then you start running and you start playing, you start going. all the while, as that's happening, all right, here in just a minute, if you're watching here on screen, a trivia game is happening. And the trivia game stops for no people. And so the question right here on screen is, rubber ducks were originally true toys. Is that true or false? The people who are playing Duck Duck Goose right now, they are having to try and answer this question while playing Duck Duck Goose. This is the most middle school game. This is the most like high energy, just crazy, insane, get people up, get people moving. So put your people around tables, put them in rows or whatever the case might be, and send them going. There's a 7-question version. There's a 10-question version, and there is a countdown version so that you can go ahead and play this with your students in your next youth ministry or something like that. It is one of the funnest ways, I think, to kind of interact with the screen and what's happening live in the room. So there you have it. Those are my 9 most favorite games that I've created and put on Download Youth Ministry, but because you are a loyal listener to the Hybrid Ministry Show, you get these for free. If you're listening and you're not a youth pastor, grab the link and share it with your youth pastor friend. Give it to them, gift it to them, because the next time they're in a pinch for games, boom, these are 9 of my favorite, actually living, as we said with Bring Me, of my favorite screen-based games. I'm so excited to have you check those out. And you know what? Linked right here on screen is actually going to be the start of our next little playlist series, and we are going to be talking about communicating in a noisy world. And the next episode is going to be the reasons why your youth ministry and church announcements don't really work. We're going to dive into that, so I hope you tap in onto that video. But don't forget, my friends, and as always, to stay